Shalom, Wagwan, peace and blessings. Bless up to all. So, as people begin to come in, I'm also live on YouTube, live streaming, and also Facebook Live for this public service announcement. So, where to begin? Or, well, where should I begin? A lot of things been going on. A lot of things been happening. Question is, are people paying attention? Are you paying attention to what's happening? Are you paying attention to what's going on? Things aren't just happening just because. Like I've always highlighted, individuals are doing things right in front of your face. But are you paying attention? Are you taking notice? This is my boy, Truth Unedited. Go to his channel, show him some love. Just recently having conversations with him, and we were sharing informations. Now that my podcast, my channels is growing, I'm starting to create buzz. I still have some kinks that I'm working out on my fans page on my Facebook. So that's why I'm using my personal. But once the fan page is up and running, I will be doing a lot of my live streaming from my fans page. So with that being said, you already know what to do when you come to my home. Grab your shoulder pads and your helmet and let's get this work. Let's go.
Okay, so let's be clear that I don't have all the answers. I only can see what these people are doing by understanding the agendas and where they desire to lead this world. But I don't know their play-by-plays. I mean, right now, Trump is very unpredictable. It's hard to plan for specifics. But if you understand the overall risk, you can understand what it is that you should be preparing for, and that's how I live my life. I live in a biblical reality that is unshifting. I don't move it for anyone. So the first thing I want to tell you is that if you're going to be ready for what's coming, you need to know what you're preparing for. What is the promise that you're waiting for? That needs to be set before anything else is discussed. Do you know what you're waiting for? If you don't know this, you are going to have issues. For some reason, in Christianity, people feel like they don't have to know about Bible prophecy and what's our Father's actually going to do. And at some point, he just...
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
If your spiritual relationship is not in place with the Most High, Elohim, you're done. It's not about religion, it's about relationship. I'm going to highlight it again. If your relationship with the Most High, Yeshua, is not in place, you have nothing. That's first. And like I've always highlighted, and I've always often have said, be careful of who you listen to. Be careful of who you get advice from. And you really have to dive in deep and really pay attention and understand what angle is an individual really going at, targeting.
Just going to beam everybody up. And even if you're not ready for him and not paying attention, it doesn't matter because he's just going to grab you up and beam you up. That's what Christians really believe. But that's far from true. So the question I'm asking you is, do you know what you're waiting for? If you do not know this, you are going to have issues. So clearly, what are you waiting for to happen? Are you waiting for the pre-tribulation rapture? If so, you are going to have hard times ahead. Are you one that's just saying that you're waiting for our Messiah's second coming? Well, okay, that's fair. But you do know that there's a lot prophesied to happen before that time comes, both good and bad. If you're not preparing for the good, you are going to be a part of the bad before our Messiah comes back. What is it that you are preparing for? So this is the first thing that must be settled for your own self before you proceed into understanding what it is that you should be doing to be ready. Do you understand? If you don't even know what it is that you should be ready for, Can you see why there will be an issue with that? So yes, the first piece of advice is to know what it is that you're waiting and preparing for. What I am waiting for and what this ministry is preparing you for is to be ready for the second Exodus. And if you don't know what that is, this is a reason why you are not ready. So for instance, when you heard about all these changes with the internet and the new world that they're creating,
Let me stop there. Has it ever dawned on you why you've been having internet problems? Have you been having internet issues lately? Anyone? Please drop a comment. Like, comment, and share this video. All right? I'm going to need them likes up. I'm going to need the comments. Put a number 1 in the chat. On both chats. On YouTube and on my Facebook. Have you noticed anything wrong with your phone signal? Sometimes it's hard for you to make phone calls. Sometimes while you on a phone call, your call drops. These are those little things start paying attention to. All right? Or all of a sudden your internet start running slow. Pay attention to it. Maybe it didn't dawn on you. Maybe you didn't take notice. Maybe you just thought, you know what? It's just the weather. The weather's been funny lately. Blame it on the weather. All right.
You understand the second Exodus, you should understand that at some point, none of these agendas will have anything to do with us because our Father has promised to gather us to Him. We will be what the world hates, and they will be collectively plotting to come against us, but they will not be able to until the time is allowed. If you understand the second Exodus and you're waiting for it, then you would understand that most of these agendas that we're talking about are not for us. Now, that's not to say that we will not be affected by the agendas, that they move these things into place, but the overall agenda is not for us. We know about these things so we don't get attached to their system. So again, the first question in preparing is, what are you preparing for? This is one of the biggest reasons of why I speak against Christianity, because you will not find one Christian church preparing you for the second Exodus. And now it seems that most Christian churches aren't preparing you for anything. It's either pre-tribulation rapture or the whole end times is just avoided.
And another thing that I like to really stick on is those that stand behind a pulpit and lie to the people. I'm telling you, so many individuals standing behind that pulpit, lying to the people. You need to stop it. Tell the truth. There are many individuals out there are sick and tired of being lied to. Hey, I'm seeking salvation. I want to change things in my life. I'm moving in a different direction and I need to be back on track. I don't need to hear your lies. I don't need to hear no feel-good message. Because it seems like that's what we're seeing. Like, who's really caring enough to sit down, okay, and have a one-on-one with you and teach you truth? Or standing behind that pulpit teaching truth to the people. Souls need to be saved. Not your pocketbooks. But this is what we see. Oftentimes, individuals have been told to keep quiet. Don't say nothing. You're going to rattle cages. Look, your cage going to get rattled when Elohim get a hold to you. So me asking you questions ain't nothing. Because something doesn't sit well within my spirit. That's why I'm coming to you and I'm asking you. I have a concern, so I'm asking you.
But again, if you don't know personally what our Father has promised and prophesied to do, how do you expect that you will be ready for it? In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, we are told to do not quench the spirit. Do not despise prophecies. Test all things, hold fast what is good, abstain from every form of evil. That's 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 19 through 22. But in that, most Christians despise prophecies. They don't even know what is actually prophesied by the prophets. If you don't know what the prophets have declared, why would you be ready for it? Do not despise prophecy. So that's the first point. Here's the next point. Do you really know how to trust in our Father? Again, people have said this many times casually in the comments. And if you're one of them that made this comment, please understand that I'm not coming at you. But I want you to really consider what it is that you're saying. People say, what am I supposed to do besides just trusting in YAH? I want to deal with this question because I'm certain that many people think this, even if they don't ask it in the comments. The reason why this is an issue is because of Christianity and what Christianity has promoted. The doctrines of Christianity do not truly teach people how to walk in trust of YAH, especially today with these churches using our Father as some type of genie, and most people don't even know our Father.
Or using YAH's word for their own personal gain. See, I'm a person that studies. I reads. Okay? I had some of the best teachers in my life. Bishop Jarvis Hines, my god brother. Mama Frances Lakey, my spiritual mother. Two of the best. And when I tell you they bring heat when they speak, they bring heat when they speak. You shh and you listen. When it comes to really walking in the word of YAH, your faith is going to be tested. Okay? And I'm going to be using myself in and out of this message as an example. Those that know me know I like to give examples because it implements the points as I bring it home. We've all been in situations where our faith was tested. Those that are married, you've been in situations where your marriage was tested. Those that are in relationships, you've been in situations where your relationships were tested. That's when you find out who you really have, who your teammate is, who your peoples is.
Because of the Trinity doctrine. Please understand this right now. If you know how to trust in YAH, there is no question about what to do besides doing that, trusting in him. A big part of this ministry over the years has been about developing your relationship with Yahuwah based upon his word and not based upon religion. I will cover this more at the end of the video, but the biggest instance I saw with religion, particularly the religion of Christianity, is how they moved during COVID. There was absolutely no trust in YAH during that time. There was only fear, and it was the churches who promoted it.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
I'm glad he brought that up. See, he sent me this video, so I didn't watch it, so I'm watching it with y'all. During COVID, the fire drill, so many people believed the lie and rejected the truth. So many people didn't want to listen, but they messed around and found out what it was all about. How do you make money, billions and billions of dollars, and you having a pandemic? Unless things were planned and set in stone that you didn't know about. Took something simple as the flu and took it somewhere where it didn't need to go. A large number of people were in fear. Okay, just go ahead and go.
We are not apologizing for being the most conservative and the most cautious during this period.
Piney Grove Baptist Church in DeKalb County says it's requiring worshipers to sign a waiver, get their temperature checked, and show proof of vaccination before attending in-person services.
We said we were going to follow the science, not our emotions. Everybody wanted to come to church.
Follow the science. If you would have really followed the science, you would have known that that was nothing but the flu. Follow the science. You also would have known wearing a mask and social distancing and all of that ain't going to save you. If something is in the air that's going to get you, it's going to get you. Large number of individuals didn't trust YAH. You trusted what man told you, what man said. But see, if you read the word, the Torah, some say Bible, Torah, I already told you. If you also read William Cooper's book, Behold the Pale of the White Horse, there it is. I'm going to say less. Everything that was set in stone to happen, it happened.
But we want to follow the science, and we did just that.
The church has about 3,000 active members, 5,000 total, and staff say they began requiring proof of vaccination several weeks ago. And they're not the only faith centers enacting COVID-19 protocols. Mount Ephraim Baptist Church in Bankhead is also asking to see vaccine cards. And all of the other churches seen here are recommending or requiring masks and temperature checks.
I remember during COVID, I was on a video call with my family. They were spread all around. And I don't remember why we were meeting. I think they were talking about protecting themselves from COVID. I don't really know. I don't remember. I can't imagine why I was on that call, but I was. But this was a bunch of Christians, most of them older than me, a generation or two above. And so in the midst of that call, I told them, and this is just a summary, I just told them basically don't forget who sustains you and remember who you are to put your trust in. There's no reason for fear if you know who guards and protects you. I was just speaking from my personal experience.
When I got wind, because some of the people that I know in places will say, and I got wind that this thing broke, I was already prepared. Because I already saw it in the spirit. I saw it. Felt it. He told me. I heard it. He said, watch how many people reject me. They're going to believe the lie and reject me. He said, those that do not reject me, those that love me, those that trust me, it's going to pass over you. Ain't nothing going to come near your dwelling. You're going to be safe. But here's the kicker. You're going to see what I'm going to do to those that rejected me. They're going to be punished. And you're going to see it. Just like the same vision that was seen. 2026. You're going to have individuals that are going to receive blessings and be rewarded. You're also going to see individuals getting persecuted because they've sold their soul to the things of this world and they made other things their God. And we're seeing it. You're going to see it.
And how we were living in my family. I thought it was a good message. When I tell you that I was very, very much not received and there were just crickets or people were just offended and that whole call didn't end well from that point. And my cousin, who I'm sure is some type of atheist, pretty much she said I wasn't allowed to come around my grandmother with that type of thought or whatever. The point I'm making is that these were all Christians. They should have had a grounding in understanding faith and not walking in fear. I mean, they were generations older than me. They should have known this. This should have been just regular understanding. but they were very much the opposite. And that was 5 years ago at least. Most of them are worse off, and I don't desire to even speak to them because it's clear the God that they serve is different from the God I serve and trust in.
So many friendships, relationships were destroyed because of that. Me personally, I can care less. Look, I don't follow what man say. I follow what Yeshua say. And if you put it in my heart and my spirit not to partake, I'm not going to partake. If he tells me not to go, I'm not going to go. Okay? And I've seen it. I'm going to tell you something. I've had some of the best peace. Boy, the streets was quiet. The streets were so quiet you can hear a pin drop. But see, that's the difference between individuals that study and know what's going on and those that don't and believed it, partake it. Okay, they can easily be manipulated and controlled because that's all it was. It was a fire drill, a test run to see how many people gonna fall and believe the lie. Lo and behold, so many people believe the lie. And then you have some that want to throw God's word into the mix. God never said he was a part of that. And then they want to crucify you because you chose not to partake in that. Paraphrasing. But wait a minute. If you rewind the tape, wasn't Yeshua prosecuted? Wasn't he treated unfairly because he went against the grain? Sure he was. This was nothing but history repeating itself. Go back to 1918 with the swine flu. What did they do? Wore around with masks. It wasn't until a large number of individuals started researching and started speaking. When you start having a large number of people speaking, they couldn't silence everybody on social media. But boy, it took. It spread like wildfire. Then it came to a point where I'm going to give you an ultimatum. If you don't partake, you're going to lose your job. Large number of people fell for it. But others were like, wait a minute. We the consumers. Y'all the consumer. Wait, try to word it right. We the consumers. A corporation don't make money. A business don't make money without us. Y'all need us. We going on strike. Now they got to backtrack. Now they got to bend the rules a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? All right.
The point that I'm making is that just because you say you know you're to trust in Yah doesn't mean that you actually know how to. And the reason why I said that it may be too late for many of you is because of the process that you must go through to really know how to do this, knowing how to trust in Yah. You see, when you choose to submit to Yahuwah, it comes with trials. You are saying you are choosing Yah's way over the way you were once living. And you see, the more you submit to that decision and give Yahuwah room to work, the more things will become disrupted in your life. Your life will start bringing challenges that will require more faith and trust in Yah. When I submitted to Yah, everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. My whole life was flipped upside down. A lot of it in the end I see was him removing all the bad things that were attached to my life. And unfortunately, a lot of those bad things were my family and my friends. I had to.
I'm going to tell you, my faith in Yeshua was lukewarm. It wasn't until I was hit with a bad storm in 2019. And I'm going to tell you, I had no choice but to trust him. I didn't know how. I didn't know when. I knew that Yeshua backed me up against a wall and forced me to look at myself. Then he said, you got two options. Now that I've forced you to look at yourself, I'm going to position you in front of a door. A, you can open up that door and walk through it. Or B, you don't have to walk through that door. Your life can continue as followed. I believe I made the right choice by walking through that door. I did not know what was on the other side of that door. I didn't know how things was going to go. All I knew that I needed help at that time because I was heading into a bad place. But see, Yeshua has always kept certain people to keep me grounded so that I wouldn't go into a dark place. You see? Because after everything had ended, he revealed to me it was never your fault in the first place. I'm showing you things. I'm revealing certain things to you. But the moment I begin to trust him, the moment I begin to suffer, because you will suffer, he will test you. Things are so much greater now. Every now and then I have my time of reflection. But like Yeshua said, trust me.
To go through a lot of lessons that were very difficult, mainly poverty and rejection. These were the main themes. I was driven to a point where the only thing I could do was trust in YAH. There was no other option. I had no other option. He did miraculous things for me where it could only be him, and I saw it. I have this one story I told many years ago, but I think it's a good example of what I'm talking about. I remember one out of the many times when my wife and I were just dead broke and didn't know what to do. We had absolutely no money, a negative bank account, and our 3 sons were hungry. We had no one to turn to, and I remember fear and doubt trying to creep in on me. A thought of me going back to my old ways and trying to hustle something up came in. Maybe just go to Walmart and put a few things in my pocket, you know? Those thoughts came, but then they were followed with an instant rebuke of the devil. Long story short, we checked the mail that day, and a car dealership around the corner was offering like $50. I think just to come in and check out their car. Came out of nowhere. It was something. I don't even remember what they wanted, but I knew it didn't matter. We dashed right over there and got through the little sales pitch and got the money to feed our kids. Out of nowhere. It was the situation that came out of nowhere. Never happened again. We just needed some help at that time, and we trusted him. I remember feeling so grateful.
Boy. I remember. I was going through what I was going through. And next thing you know, blessing came to relocate. I was hesitant at first, but I trusted. And when I trusted him, I'm going to tell you, Yeshua is amazing. He took me out of a bad situation and put me into a good situation because I trusted him. Got rid of my old vehicle, then a blessing came to get a new vehicle. The opportunity came. I'm going to tell you, I don't know where I would be or what I would be doing if it wasn't for Yeshua. I give him the glory, the honor, and the praise. Excuse me. I never in a million years thought about having a podcast show. But it was always something. It's like, this is very therapeutic for me. Being able to share, being able to live stream, being able to connect with people across the globe and to share my testimonies. I've had men and women email me sharing similar stories, similar to mine. You know, I've never thought that I would find myself in that position. Because I'm the type of person, I'm going to tell you, if I marry a woman, it's going to be us. There ain't going to be no splitting apart. We're going to go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to win. I'm going to rock with you. If I'm with you, I'm with you. We all have storms. We all have storms, granted. But it's how you handle being in that storm. And when you have a teammate that has your back, in my case, I thought I did. I thought I had one. When you have the right person behind you, with you, beside you, and you going through it, you're going to come out victorious. You're going to come out a winner. But also, Elohim will show you what type of person you have in the midst of a storm. Most people are quick to throw in the towel and run, while the other stands and fight.
And again, just being reminded of how much he cares for us. Our life was filled with little stories like this. I didn't like them at the time, but today I'm grateful for them because I developed a trust and dependence in him that helps me live today.
Yes. And he also told me, forgive. Gotta have forgiveness. Forgive her. And you know what? It took some time, but I did. Everything revolves around trusting in YAH, trusting the process. A large number of individuals have to trust the process. Sometimes going through something, yes, it's bad. Yes, it seems bad. But it can also be a blessing. I'm glad that this took place because it put me in a better position. I didn't see it at that time. Of course we don't. And that's why we have to give ourselves time to heal. That's why we have to have a meeting with ourselves. That's why we have to be willing to look in the mirror and take some responsibility. And we will discover that it was never us, but the person made us believe that it was us and made others believe that it was that person and play the victim. We got to be careful because even at that time, the enemy can come in and put some razzle dazzle in things. That's why you have to be grounded. That's why you have to be humble. I don't have any bad things against anyone. But I reach out to those that are carrying things. I reach out to those that are going through things. I reach out to people that have been hurt. Crying out with no one to listen, no one to hear you. No one to hear your cry. But I'm going to tell you something. And I always believe in sharing testimonies and sharing stories. Because you don't never know that you could be impacting a person's life with your testimony. We don't ever know what the next man or woman is going through. I didn't know it until I received emails, till I received comments. When I dropped the first video, Run Tell That part 1, 2, and 3, about everything that I went through. And it was amazing. See, you went through that? Like, yeah. This person went through it. That person experienced. This person is right in the thick of it. How did you do it? What did you do? Best advice I can give, I trusted in YAH. And after I trusted in him, I went and got counseling. Because sometimes we have to go back and confront our past. Sometimes we have to go back, no matter how much it hurts. We have to go back and tear back the layers of our past and get to the root. How did this start? We come to the king's table with our problems, with our issues, but we leave with solutions.
He's with us. I know this for sure. He knows what we need. For you, he knows you lost your job. He knows you're down to your last. He knows the sickness that you're dealing with. What he wants is for you to trust him. He wants you to believe in him. He wants you to listen to him. Maybe you need to downsize or reduce your expectations of the life you had in mind. Maybe he wants you to move, or maybe he just wants you to stay put and stay faithful. We are all different. All I can tell you is that he will never leave you or forsake you. But here's the thing. You can walk away from him and his will if you choose to be your own God and not rely on him.
And so many people have done that. And that right there is so rude and disrespectful to him. He gave you life. You're basically slapping someone in the face that gave you grace. Disrespected someone. They pulled you out of situations. Could never be me. I don't never, ever want to travel down those roads. I need Yeshua every day. Because I have him. I have his spirit that dwelleth within my household. That's why I love coming home after a long day's work. I love coming home to peace. I love coming home to love and warmth. Because those are the type of fruits that I bear, that I carry. But also, his spirit resides in my home too. That's why everybody can't come to my house.
You must trust him. And believe me, I get it that it's not easy. Sometimes it seems so much easier to do the wrong thing than have faith and do what's right. But you must be assured that he is there for you. And you see, that is what faith is. Faith in Yahuwah is having complete trust or confidence in him. Do you have that? If so, continue on with it. If not, you must build it. My point is that all the problems we dealt with while we were going through them, they were not fun at all. But I could tell you what they did for me. They developed my trust in Yah and a real relationship with him where I learned how to heed his voice. I learned to be patient when I didn't get direction from him. I learned when to rebuke fear when Satan was pushing it towards me. I learned to not operate through my flesh, being that this was where the most of my mistakes were made. I learned to know his voice versus the voice of the enemy. Yah speaks to me through his word. He never contradicts it. And so the more I learned his word, the more I knew it was his voice guiding me. You see, Satan, when he's talking, he talks through doubt and fear and provocations. There's a difference in the voices. And my struggles and dependence on Yah allow me to understand this. I learned to know when it was Yah speaking to me and when Satan was trying to provoke me.
Whose voice do you hear? Who's talking to you? Whose voice do you hear? Who's talking to you?
I would never have learned how to trust in YAH without those hard lessons. And I don't ever want to go through those type of lessons again, but they were very necessary in order for me to stop depending on myself more than depending on him. You see, you have to understand, sometimes the biggest problem is ourselves. We get in the way because we feel we need control.
Sometimes you need to get out of your own way and let Yahweh get in the way. A large number of individuals will self-sabotage a relationship, a marriage, behind a feeling, behind listening to the wrong people, having the wrong people in your ear gate. Pay attention, people. Who's talking to you?
We are too scared to give YAH the reins, so we feel that we need to be in control of everything. And I learned a long time ago, it does not work that way. You have to give it all to him. And the more you trust him, the more he can do in your life. The more you lack trust, the less room you give him. Imagine it like this. If you're driving the car, but he says, let him drive and take the wheel and steer. If you don't trust him enough, so you're still keeping a hand on the steering wheel, he may be trying to steer you with a hard turn that may bring you down a bumpy road, but he moved you away from traffic or a cliff, something very bad. But if you're still holding onto the wheel, he can't make that hard turn that he needs to. And you are blocking him and causing problems for yourself because you do not fully trust him.
A large number of individuals block their own blessings because they are too much in their own way. Okay. All right. Let's take the dating field. There's a large number. Let's start with women first. Ladies, sometimes you can stop your own blessing. The man that you need is right there in front of your face, has been. He's been trying to get in touch with you. He's been trying to get your attention. He gives you compliments here and there. Sometimes we block our own blessings. The person you should give a chance, that guy. But you don't. You overlook him or you friend zone him. All right, let's get to the men. There's a woman that approaches you. She smiles at you. She lets you know she's interested. But you friend zone her. Men, sometimes you block your own blessings. The woman that you need is right there, has been there. Okay. Let's go to opportunities. The opportunity for growth, the opportunity for a better position has always been there. But you never took hold of it. You never took advantage of it. You kept putting it off. You kept overlooking it. And now that same opportunity went to somebody else. And you saw the blessings of that. And this is what it means. When you trust in YAH and you be available to change, you be available to new things. Never shortchange yourself. Too many people shortchange themselves.
Take your hand off the wheel. So the point is to learn to fully trust him. And when you do this, you will know more about how to submit to Yahweh, and you will know that there is nothing else to do after you know to trust in him. Once you really know how to trust in him, you will know that you are set for life because you know how to let him lead you and not to walk in fear and provocations of your flesh. So what has happened with many is that many people don't like going through the chastening. Many people want to resist how he's trying to mold them, and because of that, they wind up getting in the way. So after knowing what you're waiting for, the most important thing after this is walking in assurance of your faith, being led by YAH in a relationship with him, not being attached to this world, and being ready to be moved when he calls. Let me tell you that the problem that will come for most people in this faith is because you have one foot in and one foot out. Because you desire YAH's kingdom, yes, but you're also so entrenched in this world, you are double-minded, and it's highly possible that when the world starts to change, fear will speak with you more than your faith does. You will have to be fully trusting in YAH and let go of your attachment to this world. And that
You have to be, in the Hebrew text, Kodashim, set apart ones. You have to be set apart. I was born in this world, but I'm not of this world. I refuse to sell my soul to the things of this world and make material things my God. I refuse. You see? Now, I know that I'm going to get persecuted because I'm going against the grain. Being of this world doesn't serve me. Partaking the things therein doesn't serve me. But having a relationship with my Abba Father in heaven serves me. Being in alignment and being in position to serve and to be of service of the Most High serves me. Get it? Let's continue to feast.
That's why living in reality is so important, a biblical reality. Let me tell you, the only way through these times that are coming will be through the power of Yahuwah. You must let him guide you, strengthen you, and fight your battles. Understand this, if you're worried about what you're going to lose, you are going to lose what is coming to you. I'm speaking in regards to the promises. And so it's important that you detach from all your ways and mindsets that has you trying to hold on to this world. People often ask about their money or their home, and the answer is it's a high probability that you are going to lose it. But these things are not your source. And if you're working hard to make sure you don't lose these things, you are depending on a different power than what YAH provides. Those that will be counted amongst his faithful must be ready to move when he says move. You must be able to trust him when you don't know what is around the corner.
Thank you. When I was told to leave and I was told to move to the location where I'm at now, I didn't know what to expect. I was just told to do something. I was told to move. He uprooted me from one place and placed me in another. I did not know what to expect along the way or right in the middle of that. But one thing I did do, trust him. Now I see why. He showed me.
You must be able to let go of possessions that don't mean anything. If you find yourself being concerned about money or how you're going to keep your house or keep what you have accumulated in this world, you are going to have issues. Please remember that. So listen, in being ready for this new world order that's coming, I want to give you some simple mindsets to hold on to. If you understand this, this will help you get through what's coming. First thing, don't focus on your money. You will probably lose it all. Understand, they are resetting the system, locking people in their social classes. Unless you are in billionaire status before the reset, your money means nothing. Don't focus on it. If you already know that you're going to lose it, when it happens, it will be easier to deal with. Let me ask you, do you remember a couple of years back when they were having that glitch with Bank of America and all those people that looked at their bank account, they saw that their money was gone? You remember they were panicking.
They were hot. Many of them turning to social media to vent their frustrations. Imagine waking up to find money missing from your Bank of America account. You'd be enraged, and rightfully so. Well, that's exactly what happened to Bank of America customers. They began reporting issues with payments processed through the money transfer service Zelle yesterday morning after noticing large amounts of money disappearing from their accounts. And get this, at no fault of their own.
I woke up this morning to an alert on my phone that my balance had dropped below the threshold. And I, thought to myself, well, I didn't have a wild weekend. Let me see what's going on. It literally said zero balance.
And it had nothing to do with that wild weekend, might I add. Well, outrage and outright disbelief for those impacted customers. It took all day for the money to be returned. Bank of America says the problem has since been resolved and the funds restored. Zelle has been under fire because critics say it's vulnerable to fraud, hacking, and theft, though at this point, there's no indication that's what happened yesterday.
But again, those things took place. Individuals panicked. Instead of knowing, you already know that's going to come back to you. But for that split moment, individuals panicked. I remember. The more you stay cool and you stay calm and collected, because you already know glitches like that happen, guess what? You're going to get that back. Things are being done right in front of your face. Some people catch it, some people don't. Something is coming. You can feel it in the air. You can smell it in the air. Something is coming.
If this happened to you, would you panic? Understand, if your heart is not attached to it, you will not be led like everyone else. Be ready for problems. And when you start seeing them come, be prepared to stay inside your home and let those that are not ready take part in the madness and the chaos. When this collapse happens, you will see chaos. And the most important thing for you to do in the beginning is to not be a part of it. And that's why food and supplies are helpful. If you're in the United States, prepare for a life without power. They have continuously alluded to the fact that they are expecting cyber attacks and attacks to our power grid. Be prepared to deal with the loss of power. Have a plan for what that will mean for you and what you will do to get through it.
I've already started. I've already have my kit and my things. I'm trying to tell you, things that are happening, they're testing you. These little glitches, these little things, they're testing you to see how you will react. And some of y'all are feeding right into it. Oh yeah, they want mess. They want chaos. Number one, so they can bring in martial law. But if you don't partake in all of that mess, they ain't gonna have nothing. When you know how to move and you know who you are and whose you are in the season of your life, you don't get caught up in the worldly things. You pick up your shoulder pads and your helmet and you sit quietly.
You want a plan and to be mentally ready for the challenge. Expecting it and being ready for it will make the challenge easier to deal with rather than being completely caught off guard with no plan. Understand, they can't go without power for a long period of time because that's not how the system will work. But I do believe that when they do go through with it, they will use this to funnel people into their smart cities. And if you're panicking like everyone else is going to be, you are going to run right into their arms. Next, when you're raising your kids, please understand as a believer, you're not raising them for this world, but you are raising them for YAH's kingdom. So the way you live and how you are, while it may seem different than everyone else right now, when our promises come, our children, they're going to be ready for it. For me personally, I'm raising my sons to be men of YAH's coming kingdom, not to be men of this God-forsaken world. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't live in this world and we don't teach them how to navigate through it. But there is a difference with our goals and the way of life when you know you are raising them for YAH's kingdom and not the satanic one. Preserve your children for Yahuwah is what I'm saying. Next, be ready to leave. If you understand end times prophecy, there will be a gathering of Israel back to the land Yah promised. And if your heart and mind is focused on his promises, when the time comes, you will know it will be time to leave.
You will know that. And know this. Can't take everybody with you. Cannot take everybody with you. Some people are not welcome to walk with you as you move.
On the contrary, if you're attached to this world and you're trying to figure out how to preserve yourself here, you're going to miss it. Your faith will be what brings the difference between you and the rest of the world. You have to understand that Yah has been preparing you and drawing you closer to him for a reason. He has told us that because we are not in darkness, his day will not overtake us and come upon us like a thief in the night. This means that because we are his, we will be ready for his day and ready for what he is doing to prepare us. The end times is not doom and gloom, but it is full of excitement and promise. It is a time that draws us closer to living a life in the way it should be. And in order for this to happen, the world will have to go through test and judgment. This should not frighten you if you are his. You have to trust him and make your life about his will and be ready for his kingdom. It is a mindset shift that you must go through. You will find comfort in his word, so I suggest you read it continuously and always go to it for wisdom, inspiration, conviction, strength, assurance, etc. Make sure you are making your life about Yahuwah and his righteousness. Make sure that you're committed to his kingdom and you're not living with one foot in and one foot out. These are some of the most important things all of us must do right now to be ready for the end times. It will not be about your physical strength or your physical supplies that is the difference between who is ready for Yah and who is not. If right now you're struggling to make ends meet right now, but you're still surviving, count that as a blessing. Count that as you will know how to survive when things get hard, because the majority.
It's amazing to me how certain individuals can say, I get what I want. I like getting what I want. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if an individual really, truly got what they want, they wouldn't be miserable, dying inside, begging. Yahshua will give you what you need. And when he gives you everything that you need, and you have faith and trust in him, you worry about nothing. That's why individuals that be on TikTok acting like they Billy Bad Bones, talking the way they talking, y'all ain't about that life. Y'all just talking good for social media. But behind closed doors, you're broken. Behind closed doors, you ain't got nothing to offer nobody. Don't have anything to offer yourself. Too many individuals are so caught up in the worldly glamour, the worldly fixings. Man, the truth could be staring you right in the face and you don't even know it. I swear to beans.
Majority of this world that are not struggling are not going to know what to do. You're going to know what to do because you've been doing it already. Your struggle is not always a burden. It can also be a blessing if you understand how to live in it. For those living in the promises, do not live in a mindset that things are going to get worse, not better. Please change your way of thinking and live in praise of Yahuwah and trust him. You know who it's going to be bad for? It's going to be bad for those that do not know how to live for him and trust him. I assure you of that. But that does not mean that that needs to be you. Yes, it will be bad for many people that you do know, and I'm sorry to say. But if you're placing your faith in Yahuwah, he will give you what you need to make it through.
From the people that have sold their soul to the things of this world and made other things their God, it's going to go bad for them. And we're going to see it. Understand this. Overstand this. Punishments and curses are going to be handed out to those that have rejected Yah's word and believed the lie. We're going to see it. Yahshua's people are going to see it. Why? It's a reminder. When you step out of line, this is what's going to happen. When you are in your own way, this is what's going to happen. Bet.
As we approach these days, I'm watching with anticipation to see how he gathers Yasharel from all the nations that he has scattered them. There are many people that believe that this has already happened, and there will be many Christians that will fight against it because it will probably be labeled around racial tensions. There are many that are so dependent upon their governments that they will be looking for the government to solve their problems and their issues. This cannot be you. Only look forward and have your heart open and ready to follow Yahuwah as he leads, so you can be used to show his power through you. These are the major mindsets that are most important for the end times. You will see many people telling you it will be cryptocurrencies that will save you, or it'll be your food supplies that will save you, or your guns, whatever, stuff like that. But none of that has to do with Yahuwah. It's important to know the difference between your source and resources. Yahuwah is your source. Those other things like food, water, crypto, they are all resources. It is prudent to see danger around the corner and prepare for it. So yes, if you're able to, get some supplies that can get you through some rough times. Have some extras. Make a plan for what you will do when things start changing. I have a list of supplies that I always keep in the description box of every video. If you want to know some of the things I keep as supplies, go to the description box and get the PDF of the supplies.
I keep a tub. I keep like 4 tubs, right? And I have canned goods. I have canned goods in 1 tub. Water, supplies of water in another tub. Toiletries and bathroom products in another tub. These are things that I keep. I went and got me a generator from Amazon because I know if things happen, I know I'm going to be good. See, and I donate to those 4 tubs of items. That's staying ready. Stay ready so that you have to get ready.
List. This is some of the things that I own. This list may help you if you don't know where to start. But please, like I said, understand the difference between your source and resources. Yes, if you're able, have food and water stocked for emergencies, but that is not your lifeline. They are just resources. If you lose those things, you can't just say, oh, it's over for you, because you have to remember your source. You need to depend on the source, because you could easily lose all that you were storing up. Your house could get flooded, or chaos in your area moves you out of your home. Then you will see that those supplies meant nothing. But if you're spiritually led by his spirit and have learned to trust and depend on him, he will give you the strength and guidance and wisdom to get through and allow his will to be done. Live by faith. In due time, you will see the difference between you living in reality and those living in ignorance. It's a huge divide. If you live in reality of the real world, you won't be moved or provoked by your flesh when their chaos starts.
Something else I want to bring home as we close. Yahshua never labeled himself. He never called himself a Christian, nothing. He's always said, my Father, he who sent me, my Father's business. That means he had a relationship with his Father. So should we have a relationship with our Father. I want everyone to be great. Thank you for tuning in this live stream. Wanted to bring some truth home and share some things with you. Reality. This is reality. Again, things are being done right in front of you. Pay attention. Don't get caught up. Be Kodashim. Set apart ones. Take that with you and go be great. It's your boy, Big Truck. Like, subscribe, and comment and share this video. One love. One.